All right, that's starting. Now let me go to this Facebook and start that. Darn it, why that's not working? Maybe you can only do one. All right. Record this here. Record on this computer, record to cloud. Uh, go to the cloud. All right. So let's see. I thought you only could do one. All right. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Hakeem me here. It's a beautiful day. Thank you for tuning in on this first day of February. What's the day? Yeah, February 1st. So it's great to be join you here. Had to just using a little bit new technology here. Usually I just do my Facebook lives and my YouTube straight from YouTube. So we are going live from our Zoom account. So I was hoping that our we could do both the Facebook and the YouTube, but maybe it's just one or the other. So, but I have a wonderful brother on this broadcast, and I want to just thank him for the opportunity. And a gentleman I've known for quite some time. He's done some amazing work. He's from Baltimore like me, so we're gonna kind of have some memories about his experiences. And he is an author of an amazing book, and I'm waiting on my copy, but I couldn't wait. So I said, well, I'm ready to get this brother on. So, one of the favorite books that, I've read, The Think and Grow Rich. So has expanded that, and his book is Think and Grow Godly Rich, while godly success for your life's purposes. So, Brother Hakeem Gilliam, L, greetings. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear
Okay.
you.
How that mic sound? You got your volume up there?
Yes, I can hear you clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little low though.
Okay.
Should did a mic check before, but
Can you hear me?
still a little low. Let me make sure it's just not me. It could be. Let me see. Let me make sure I got my volumes up. Yeah, that volume is up. And okay, well, I think everybody should be able to hear you good enough. So I'm just looking at these different little things that we have. So what's going on, my brother?
All is well, man. All is well. All is well.
Yeah. So you got a great book and looking forward to getting it. But just let everybody know a little bit about yourself. You're no longer in the Baltimore area, but you're doing some tremendous work with your family, of course. And it's just been amazing to watch you and Sister Maisha continue to expand in the wisdom. And I'm proud of you, first and foremost. Let me just say that, knowing, just many people that come from Baltimore, we all experience different levels of our challenges. And so, I'll just open and say that. So just let the listening audience know a little bit about yourself and, just where you've been throughout your path and what brought you to this point, godly success for your life's purpose. So just share.
Okay. Thank you first and foremost for inviting me in
Wait a minute,
on
I don't
this.
have nothing now. I don't have no sound now. Do a mic check, or even if you,
Check.
even if,
Can you hear me?
no, no, I don't hear you. If you need to come out and come back in, maybe that might reset it. So we'll do that. Try that. Log out and just come back in. And all right. Let me see if anybody's trying to get on here. Okay. Okay. Let me hold on. Let me see. How do I done it? I'll let you. Okay, a bit. Haha. There we go.
Check one, check one. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mic check.
Can you hear me?
No, Don. Mm. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I heard you earlier. Um, mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I heard you earlier, so I don't know what could be going
Can you hear me?
on.
One.
It's a video. I don't hear anything. Let me make sure ain't nothing on my part. No. Let me see. Mute and then. So make sure your mute is not on your Yeah, make sure your mutes are not on spotlight video. Let me see. Okay. That was me just putting you in the spotlight there.
Can you hear me?
No, let me see. You're definitely not muted on my end, but
Can
put
you
in
hear me?
no,
One.
no. Let's see. All your connections are on. I assume
Yeah.
so. Audio. Audio. Is it mute? Is it connections? Definitely not a Wi-Fi issue. All your connections are good. Your mute is off. I tell you what, I don't know if we'll be able, if I need to reboot something as well.
Huh?
And let me see. So I'm done.
One.
I don't know what else it could be, bro. Let me see. Do-do-do. All right, I was
Can you
just
hear me?
looking at
Can you
that.
hear me?
Hmm.
One.
Yeah, I mean, and I
One.
mean, let me
You
see
want to go
something.
out and come back in?
Wait a minute, I kind of hear. Let me make sure it's not me. Go
One,
for it.
one, one,
Oh, it was me, brother. It was
one.
me.
Okay.
It's
All
me.
right. All right.
It's me. I apologize, man. It's these earphones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've been having some
You're right.
slight technical difficulties with that. I mean, and I should have picked up on it and knew that it was my, earphones. I was about to. The next thing I was gonna go and
Uh-huh.
log in on my phone and see if I saw it. But
Yeah.
that's sometimes you got to do like a process of, elimination. Like, all right,
Yes.
is it on
Yeah.
your end? Is it on my end? So it's time for me to order some new some new headphones anyway. But yeah, I figured I'd push it right on in. But we still live, brother. We ain't lose that much time. But you got back in. So
All
so
right.
just open up and share, a little bit about yourself. Just
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, like I said, thank you for this opportunity and being able to be a part of what you're doing. And I want to thank all of the authors and contributors of Think and Grow Godly Rich. So thank the ones who came before me, who paved the way for such wisdom to be shared. And I am Brother Everett Hakeem Gilliam, a native of Baltimore, Maryland. Grew up, born and raised in the east side of Baltimore, also in the Lafayette projects of Baltimore. Um, was one who got into the streets and was misdirected at one point in my life. Grew up in a single family home with just a mother and brothers, and I just you know realized that there was some things in my life that it needed to be changed after going to prison and getting into trouble back and forth. And I just felt there was no direction. So I came upon a time in my life where I just basically realized that, it was time for me to, begin to settle down. So I met a wonderful woman who is my wife today, Dr. Maisha Gilliam, and she's also um, one of the contributing authors that's in the book as well,
Oh,
entrepreneur.
beautiful.
And I mean, it's
Mm,
just that it's been a journey since then, just being a family man, a father of 9 children, have 8 boys and 1 girl.
mm.
I believe that God really spared me from the streets for such a time as this. And
Amen.
I'm just here thankful today to just be able to, share some of the things that he's bestowed upon me to share with the world.
All right,
I'm
that's good.
currently now in the city of Virginia, so
Right. What
always a
part of
Baltimore
Virginia?
native.
What? So, what part of Virginia now?
We're in Hopewell, Virginia.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
Midlothian, Virginia. I'm sorry, we was in Hopewell. We lived
Yeah.
in.
Okay.
Yeah, we just moved.
Right. Right. All right.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
y'all weren't in Hopewell any longer.
yeah.
So,
And
all
yeah,
right.
we've been here in Virginia now over 10 years, and it's been a journey for us. It's been a very interesting journey, but we've
Mm,
endured, and we're still about the Father's business, about the kingdom work, about what needs
mm,
to be done, and
mm-hmm.
helping individuals transform and transition their life, their mind,
Wow.
their perspective on just who they are, and what they have as a purpose for what they're here for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now I see that you in the I believe that's the cover of your book where you instead of agape you have I got pay. I
Oh,
got pay.
I got paid. Yeah.
So just so for many people, who may not first know what agape love is, just expand on that, and then, just kind of come into what, I got your interpretation of agape means. I think that's important,
Right.
for us to learn that in our wisdom,
Right.
just
Right.
I
Well,
love all this. Yeah.
for those who are biblically knowledgeable of the Bible, the scriptures, God so loved the world that he gave us an example, which is his only begotten son, to follow after, to understand our purpose and our path that we should walk. So when God did that for each and every one of us, it was his agape love. Agape
Mm,
love is an unconditional love. So we know that the
mm,
Most High God, he unconditionally loves us, especially if we have a past that we can actually, you know, uh, uh, we can relate to,
mm,
where we came from to where we are. So with
mm,
God having that agape love and giving us an example of someone that would be a clear example and footprints of how we should walk upright and understand who we are. Agape was a vision that came to me in the pattern of that, and not so much of what God has done for us, but what we're going to do for him. So since God gave us something with an unconditional love, then it's by right that we give him something back, which is our life. So agape is meaning imitating God on purpose eternally. So when we do that, what we're doing is we're living up to the expectations of what God did for
mm,
us when he created each and every one of us before we was in our mother's womb.
mm, mm. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes, indeed. So that's quite, an interpretation of scripture. So, in terms of, just how do you feel, as a first time author, just putting, your wisdom into a book, it's commendable. Certainly many people don't believe that they actually can do that. I mean, they can envision themselves, actually being an author, a co-author. However, it seems like, something so far-fetched. So I know that, even with your path and, just, they might talk you into it.
Let me say this. I always like to give credit where credit is due. That's
Right,
my love. That's my rib.
right,
That's my
right,
my
right.
other half. And
Mm-hmm.
in the scriptures it says, "What I have done, you shall do, and even greater." Right.
Mm,
So when I seen her, on her path, and I seen what she had done,
right.
yeah, she pushed at me and she told me that
That's
there's
good.
something that I could do, and
Right, right,
it
right.
just helped me to reflect on really what the scriptures that told me I can do. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she was definitely one of the inspirations for me to do this. And I'm very thankful to have her and as a support, and
Hmm.
as a wife.
Right, right, right. So you're
But I
very,
feel I feel I feel fulfilled,
yes, sir.
because this book was written in
Mm.
2016,
Oh,
and
really? Okay, okay.
it sat around, and now when I say literally sat under my mattress, it literally sat under the
Oh,
mattress.
wow. Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
it took me till the pandemic to really actually pull it from under there and just basically get focused on it. And I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you the reason why in a little.
Right, right. Okay, okay. So what are some of the key points that you would say that someone can get out of this book? Well, first, how many like pages is it like first and
The,
foremost?
the book right now, it has 104 pages.
Okay, okay.
104 pages. I first also want to give an honor and thankful to Napoleon Hill
Hmm.
for his classic work, because when I was in network marketing, I seen the progress that I had just reading the book and following the principles of it.
Right.
Um, but as network marketing was a challenge to me, I
Mm-hmm.
began to question and ask God, like, what is it that's causing me this challenge?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows that we have a calling on our life. We all have a purpose.
Right.
And what God had bestowed upon me, he said that, you can be great with network marketing, which you are. But what I want you to do is be a fisher of men. I want you to be
Mm-hmm.
a mentor to help mentor others up into a
Mm-hmm.
leverage of knowing really who they are. Because with the high level of mental identity crisis, and people today, everybody wants to know what their purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is after the grind.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to, go after the pursuit of happiness and the things. And so what God was saying to me was that, a lot of us, we focus on the exterior, but when do we actually go in and realize that true wealth is the best of health when you are in your right mind, and then you are in the right atonement with the creator who created us. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was one of the reasons when Think and Grow Godly Rich, the title came about, was because, I realized that the tools that the author Napoleon Hill and Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, they gave us the principles, they gave us the tools.
Mm-hmm.
But, in my own experience, what good is the principles and the tools if you don't have the right mind to execute them?
Mm-hmm.
And the right mind to execute comes by having your spirit and your soul intact, having an understanding of who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, then what you possess will not do you any good, because we will squander it. We'll release it into the things of the world, where we end up back where we started with nothing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So, does your book, and it'd be cool if I had it right here,
Hey,
where I
I
can
want you to
drop it.
know, I
Yeah.
did mail the book off. I mailed
Oh,
it
I'm
off
sure.
a
Yeah.
week ago.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah,
Well, I know these
and
books. I tell you.
yeah,
Yeah. I mailed
um,
one to another part of Maryland
right,
a few weeks ago, and they didn't get it till like three weeks. Man, it's like
right, yeah.
ridiculous.
So
Matter of fact,
I'm praying that it'll come to you at least this week, because you're
right.
not the only one that's waiting.
Yeah, oh man, it's all good. So, in terms of certain scriptures that have resonated with you, I mean, of course, I'm sure you may mention some particular ones, throughout the book. And I'm sure several of the other authors as well. But which particular scripture would you say, if you had to give, one to say, this is the foundation for my healing, my transformation, and just growing godly rich.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well, the one that stands out, which propelled this ideal that God gave, was Genesis chapter 1, where it
mm,
talks about uh, God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was without form or void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And as you go into chapter 1 and 26 and 27, it says, and God created male and female. He created he and her, them, in his image and after his likeness. And
Mm-hmm.
so that resonated with me because we all, like I said, we tend to identify ourselves with the things that we acquire, the possessions that we hold, or just our name, our birth certificate, the landmass in which we live. But we never actually go to the root of our actual manufacturer or creator who actually created us in spirit and in truth.
Mm,
And so that resonated to understand that that's our true, organic, and authentic self. And
mm,
once we understand that, we'll have the courage that we should have as God's children, as sons and daughters here on
mm,
this earth. We'll have the confidence to be able to go and think and grow rich, to think and
mm,
grow godly rich, to imitate God, to walk
mm,
in the same steps, to overcome the same challenges, to
mm,
be able just to, be victorious in what we do and who we are. Because
mm,
we're not put here to be victims. We're put here to be overcomers,
mm,
achievers. You
mm,
know, the victim mentality, we know that came from the slave master. And so, when Think and Grow Godly Rich came about, this is a book that actually helps you resurrect. It takes
mm,
what Jesus did and it actually gives it to you so that now you can realize that this is not just a story. It's an example, and it's for you to
mm,
fulfill it. Because we all have some
mhm,
things that we should die to. We have some things that are still plaguing us today, and we got to die to these things, and we got to do it by thinking and growing godly rich, by imitating God on purpose equally.
mm. Yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Well said, my brother. So, so definitely, definitely in terms of, how, we see today, how a lot of children, young people, and even, growing up myself, and I'm sure, you and I have talked before, and, we had some of the similar experiences, how many of young people, are not necessarily connected to a church in today's society. I mean, I'm still in Baltimore, and
Right.
it's like, man, I'm like, whatever, can transform some of these young people to be a better, brother and sister, and to love life, like you saying that agape. Where would you describe as the disconnect that I'll speak for young Black people, because that's myself, and I was lost at one time, so it's sort of like, okay, like, how do we get young people and say, look, this is something that can heal you and make you whole. This is what you should aspire towards. So just speak on that, my brother.
Well, coming up, like we in the church and seeing the disconnect is really, I believe, a matter of self-identity,
Mm,
and in the scripture it tells us that we should edify, encourage, and exhort
mm,
the body. And
mm,
so when we go into edifying, exhort, and encouraging the body, you have to, speak to the soul and the spirit of that individual,
mm,
because the young people today, they see past a lot of the schisms and the game. They want to be spoken to, whereas though they see something that's applicable, is real. And this doesn't
mm,
mean
mm,
that we should debase our message or debase our method. But what we do is we get to the spirit. And I believe that when spirit bear witness to spirit, it's a matter of understanding. We all have a conscience. So the disconnect is that instead of speaking and preaching a story, we got to speak and teach the living word, the living will, the
mm,
living method, where they can understand that they are great individuals. They can
mm,
understand that they are not, someone to be taught at. but there's someone to be guided into a path where they can actually experience what we're trying to teach them and experience what we're trying to show them. Because, you know, it worked for us when we were little that we can get nursery rhymes and bedtime stories and, you know, believe in the tooth fairy and everything. But our children today, these young people today, they see past the lie. So we got to be real with them. You know, we got to be honest with them and let them know, like, no, this book, I know you may think that it's a book that's non-relevant or was the white man's book or whatever, but we are the authentic original man and woman of creation. We created everything. And when you allow them to understand that it's a spiritual aspect that's talking about your divine and your greatness that's inside of you, past beyond your neighborhood, past beyond your community, past beyond what you may have heard entertaining wise. This is actually something that is actually will pull greatness out of you, where if you begin to think like a God, where in the scriptures it tells us that ye are gods.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you begin to let them know that ye are gods, and you got to start thinking like that. You got to, as my wife say, change your thoughts and you can change your life. Then you won't, you know, you'll be able to sit and understand that it's beyond just, as I say, going to church, but it's about being a church. It's about being the church. You know, Jesus was being the church. You know, the disciples was being the church. You know, and when they came together to form a body that was powerful to change a world perspective. And so that's I believe that if we can, you know, we can speak to their spirit, we can be real with them, you know. And I thank God that I was able to experience the street before my transformation into where I am now, you know, from a menace to a minister. I thank God that I was able to experience that because I can relate to them. And that's what they need today. They need somebody that can relate to them, that, you know, that's not just speaking Bible, but that's actually living the scriptures, that's living, that's bringing it to life, you know, a walking testimony, a walking, I call it, you know, you're a billboard for God. You know, we even with that, they brand themselves with so many others names, so many other you know, people who created things. But when do we actually be a brand or a billboard for God? When do we look like the divine that we are actually created to be?
Wow.
You know,
wow.
So I believe that I believe when I speak and I say that to them, I believe it really, really registers to their spirit. It cut away all the things, you know, that's on the exterior. You know, as I call my wife a spiritual physician, and she's a doctor, you know, it cut away, you know, and it actually gets to the root of where surgery needs to be done. And that's at the heart of it. That's at the identity, the soul level.
Right. So yeah, man, that was beautiful, beautiful. Well said, my brother. Well said. So, you know, we definitely going to have to do some more of these, and perhaps even, you know, like when we do more of our international, you know, some of our events coming up, maybe this month when we do some panels and things like that with my queen. She's actually on, but she's probably down there asleep. So, you know, definitely appreciate it. Anything else you want to say, brother? And of course, you know, if you want to close and then, you know, share your contact information where people can purchase the book. Of course, people should get a copy or two, you know. So definitely, you know, I want to encourage people. And I'm going to get you a copy of, you know, this recording as well. So, all right.
Okay. Well, in closing, like I said, definitely, I always tell people that when you purchase the book, you're not purchasing the book just to read. You're purchasing the book as an investment into you and becoming the greater that you are, becoming godly successful. I talk about godly success. Godly success is actually knowing thyself. And once you know yourself, then true riches will come forth because you've sought God's kingdom. You become that kingdom citizen. You become you become of a world that's not of this world. You know what I'm saying? And that's a powerful thing. But I definitely want to thank the authors and the contributors who are in this book. It's 7 chapters.
Okay, okay.
And the 7 chapters are definitely um, in the pattern of Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill had 13 chapters. This one
Mm,
has 7 because God created in 6 days, and on the seventh day, he saw things as perfected.
mm,
So this book is 7 divine instructions, practical
mm,
for teaching, preaching, AA meetings, NA meetings,
mm.
workshops, Bible study, youth
Right. Okay.
fellowship, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatever you want to take it. It's a practical book that will allow the individual, after reading it, if they spiritually are connected, which I do know that when you read it, you're going to get spiritually connected,
Mm,
that they will definitely come out a better person. They will come out being an imitator of God equally. They will come
mm.
out thinking and growing godly rich, that they
Yes.
will go forth and they will be able to succeed in life. They will become entrepreneurs by first, as I call them, because I like them, I like to mess with words, by being
Mhm.
a selfpreneur. Because before you
Mm,
can be an entrepreneur, you got to be a selfpreneur, work on yourself, so
mm,
that when you work on yourself and you go through these 7 principles of
mhm,
desire, um, maturity, accountability,
mm,
responsibility, integrity,
mm,
identity, and perfection. When you
mm.
get those 7 steps of godly success, then you're able to, you know, go out and you're able to be successful in just who you are, not what you obtain or what you have gained, but just being successful for who you are.
Yes,
And
sir.
I just want to say this:
Sure.
Napoleon Hill said something that interests me. He says that every man or woman is what he is because of the dominating thoughts which he or
Mm.
she permits to occupy his or her mind.
Wow.
And we know that it says, as a man thinketh, or as a woman thinketh, so is they. That
Mm,
means that you have to, if you want, as my wife always drill, change your thoughts. And I'm actually beginning to see this. Even though
mm,
I wrote the book,
mhm,
I
mhm,
wasn't really, seeing it,
mm,
until I
mm.
began to read the rough drafts and started saying, wow, it's just that simple. If you just change your thoughts and be a positive mindset, you can do wonders, and you can take your life into a whole different perspective, no matter what's taking place around you or what's
Right.
going on outside in the world. You are a success because you have accomplished the goal in reconciling and reconnecting with your divine creator that created
Right.
you. And so
Wow.
they can definitely get the book on
Okay.
Amazon.com.
Yes.
Um, you can go to my Facebook page, which is Everett Hakeem Gilliam L.
Hmm.
You can get it on Kindle. You can get it on hard copy as well. And I'm on YouTube as
Okay. Cool.
Everett Gilliam L. I'm also on Instagram as Everett Gilliam L. So if anybody want to connect, I'm working on doing some workshops, virtual workshops, where
Hmm.
we actually we just finished a 21-day godly success coming
Mm,
into the new year, where a lot of people was making New Year's resolutions. I came with helping them to make a new you resolution,
mm,
so that you can begin to come into that new you. And
hmm.
so I'm working on a journal, where as though they not only can take that 21 days just for the first 21 days of January, but they can utilize this 21-day journal throughout the year.
Wow.
You can constantly be renewing yourself. The word of God, the Bible says that I renew my mind daily. So we got to
Mm,
renew our mind daily in order for new ideas and new instructions for God to come through to us, so that we can go out and we can actually help another person think and grow godly rich.
right. All right. All right. Well, I appreciate it, my brother. So let you get back to them young ones this evening. So definitely
Yes,
appreciate the opportunity. Look forward to getting my copy of Think and
sir.
Grow Godly Rich, Godly Success for Your Life's Purpose. All
And I
right.
want to thank you too, man. I want to thank you
Yeah.
too
Thank
for,
you, brother.
for,
Yes,
for
sir.
all the contributing that
Yes, sir.
you've done for my family.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
Just watching you stay consistent, watching you
Yes, sir.
stay, true to yourself. It's truly an honor to know such a great brother
Yes,
from
sir.
Baltimore all the way to VA.
Right, right.
Um,
Indeed, brother. So we'll be in touch, man.
okay.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Send the greetings to you
All right.
to
Thank you,
Mike
sir.
and your family. All right. Till next time. Peace and blessings, everybody. Hakiami.